picking up the stage 1 here, stage 1.
Yep.
Stage 2. Stage 1 is always picking up the source code management, right? From
Yeah.
GitHub. We have our GitHub account in which our source code is going to be. Okay, and we'll be taking that source code into Jenkins workspace.
Yep.
Okay, and this whole pipeline is going to be created on the same machine where Jenkins is installed. So the EC2 mesh instance
Yep.
in which Jenkins is installed, we create this whole stages using something which is called as pipeline or code pipeline. Okay, this is written using what? Groovy script. Yesterday we saw that.
Yep. Yep.
Okay? Groovy script is generally written in what we call as a Jenkins file. Okay, J capital, F small letter. Okay, with no file extension generally.
Yep.
Okay, so you have the source code manual. You pick up the source code from GitHub into the Jenkins workspace. Either you can do it in two ways. One is using webhook trigger. That means what? Whenever somebody does a push of new code, whenever somebody means what? The developer.
Yep.
Right? Developer is the one who puts the code into the GitHub repository, remote repository. Right? So whenever a developer pushes new code, it would trigger the webhook trigger to start this pipeline or whatever it is, the job which we have defined in the Jenkins. All right.
Yep.
So this webhook trigger, apart from this, you can also have one more, which is called as polling mechanism. Okay. Here, what
Yep.
happens every time a push happens, the code will be picked up from GitHub into the Jenkins workspace. Okay.
Yep.
Now this could be relevant push. Irrelevant means not maybe major changes, minor changes, maybe some sort of things which you could have done the build process. So you see the stage 2 is always going to be the build of the code. Whatever the source code that is there, it has to be built. That means either you generate a WAR file out of it or any jar file out of it. Whatever be it archived. One second, I'll just be back in 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Um. Yeah. Yeah, Shankar, can you hear us? Hello, can you hear us? Shankar, are we audible to you? Hello? I just noticed you here. Hello? Can you hear us? If you're not able to unmute, can you just message in the chat window? Whether you're able to hear us at least. Okay, no response is not. Okay, we'll wait. Okay, where was I? I was at stage 2, right?
Polling.
Yeah, polling mechanism. Okay, so
Yep.
in polling mechanism, it would be based on a time frame. So some sort of time schedule, like a cron job.
Yep.
Okay, okay, at a time interval that the job will be executed. It'll trigger at a particular time interval. Okay, whether it be hourly basis, maybe it's weekly basis, once, or maybe in terms of even you can mention the time zone. You can mention the time zone. So based on what
Mhm.
time zone do you want the polling to happen, all that can be noticed. Okay, so maybe the updated code will be picked up from GitHub only once a week, and then the build process will be done. Okay, because the build process is a resource intensive process. Okay, so it cannot be repeated again and again and again. Okay, so it has to be somehow
Yep.
has to be included within the what do you say, with the mind in thing in mind, whether you know what type you want, whether you
Mm.
webhook trigger or polling mechanism. Okay, so this time we are
So,
not going to do jar one, we're going to do war one. Yeah,
in terms of like regression testing and smoke testing build, is this like similar configuration that we can use to, I mean, kind of configure that in the Jenkins, or is it
that
different?
that comes in the next stage, right? You can configure
Okay.
whichever one you want to. That comes after the,
After this, okay, sure.
yeah, you can
Okay.
test the code after that. Okay.
Okay.
You can also have one more stage here, which we are not included within this one. But if you want later on, I can add one more stage here. Later on, once you learn everything,
Yep.
with say suppose this code, you want to review the code.
Just would like to understand, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of how we can add those builds as well, and yeah, that would be
Yeah.
helpful. Yeah.
So if you want any one more stage over here where the code is being reviewed or the code quality needs to be checked and all of that, then
Like
you could
Sonar
have,
Cloud.
yeah. So then you can use
Okay.
Sonar Cube here.
Yep.
One stage for that. Okay. So if you're adding an extra stage, your Groovy script should in your Jenkins file should correspond to that added extra stage and
Okay.
how it is configured. So even Sonar Cubes, um, plugins and all that has to be integrated with the Jenkins. Okay.
Okay.
And how to
Mhm.
set it up. So this Sonar Cube, if you want, I'll go teach you that as an extra tool at the very end. Okay.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Yeah, sure.
Once the
Certainly. Yeah.
curriculum's over. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
So what we're going to do, we're going to next go for, so yesterday we did the web server installation, right? Let's just have a look. There is a
And
web server.
one more
Yeah.
thing actually I remembered is like security analysis. That is also like part of the things we can add, kind of
Uh,
WASP
security.
configuration or something, or
Yeah, those and all you can come, that comes under
is it
DevSecOps.
like a kind of plugin as well for the securities, or is it different?
Yes, they all
It's
have
plugin
to
as
be
well.
integrated. Yes, there are around 1,000+ plugins supported by Jenkins. You can integrate any one of
And yeah, okay, yeah. I think with the Sonar Cloud, maybe like it will kind of give us a good, I think, overview.
them. It
Probably
will
like, yeah.
give you a good overview.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, sure. Thanks. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
shall I start?
Yeah.
So what we are doing actually here, like with
So
this,
here our Tomcat server we had installed yesterday, right? On our
yeah, if
system
we do
where
ls, yeah, we
Jenkins
can
was
see,
put.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So there were three things. So if which we did. First one was what in Tomcat? We had gone to conf folder, right?
yep.
What did we do? We made two configuration change. One in server.xml file. What is the change that we did? We went ahead and changed this port number.
Created the, yeah, yep,
Yeah, because why? The web server's port number default is 8080. Okay. Now the problem is the same machine also has Jenkins installed on it, which also default port number is port number 8080. So we changed the port number of the web server, Tomcat web server, so that there is no
yep,
port conflict. Okay, that is done.
yep,
And then what we did, I'm just going to quit it because we did that yesterday.
yeah,
All
yeah, yeah.
right. And
Hmm.
then there was one more change that we did. One was within the Tomcat users.xml file, right? We added one user
Yeah.
XML file, which at the very end, okay, we had the section of code which we uncommented by removing the start comment and end comment,
Yeah.
right? And what did we do here? We added one username, one particular authorized user, which is deployer, and
Mm.
password is deployer. All right.